Hey guys, it's Jen from beautyriotx, and today we're trying on makeup from this month's subscription boxes. So for me, it's BoxyCharm and IPSY Glam Bag Plus. I do get BoxyCharm and PR, but that never affects my feelings on the box's contents. So, the first thing, I don't remember what box this is from. But the first thing I tried today was the MudMasky. I hate that name. When you put a Y at the end of a word that doesn't belong, like this, it just drives me nuts. This is the Aftermask Vitamin Serum. pH balanced, extra smoothing, anti-aging, feeding, protecting, nourishing. It's basically a serum in a tube you put on after a wash-off mask. It's supposed to balance the pH of your skin. You can put it on basically anytime you would use a serum, but it's marketed as something you would use after putting on a mask. I just used it today after doing one of my vitamin C rub masks. It absorbed really fast. It's been on for about 20 minutes. It's something that you leave on, obviously. It doesn't feel particularly hydrating. I don't feel tons different in my skin or particularly moisturizing, soothing, anything like that. Particularly around my mouth feels a little bit on the dry side. I'll have to use it more because serums are something I feel like it's skincare. So I feel like over time you might see a difference, but first impression, I don't see a big deal about it. And I think this is like almost 40 or 50 bucks. Meh. We have an eyeshadow primer. This is from Pretty Vulgar. This was in BoxyCharm, I believe. This is the eyeshadow primer. And I usually use and love the e.l.f. Primer Putty Primer in Cream. And that's like a drier kind of, it's been compared to like Max paint pots, I guess. This doesn't have any color to it. It's very sheer. I just felt it before, like I haven't used it yet. I don't feel a ton of, it doesn't feel particularly tacky. I'm hoping it like dries down and doesn't become, and it's not like slippery. Like it doesn't feel totally silicone-y, but it doesn't feel, it's not the kind of primer I normally use. Well, maybe it's a little bit sticky. I don't know. I'll have to mess around with it. But we're gonna use that today. So I'm gonna prime one eye first. Oh, actually, as it dries, it feels kind of sticky. I'll list the claims for it on the screen because I'm not looking it up now. In my opinion, most eyeshadow primers should offer a little bit of coverage, even if it's just very slight. This doesn't offer any. I don't love that about it. We have two palettes. We have Colored Raine, Vineyard, Soiree, and they're both very cool, which I think is very strange how boxes coordinate like this. This is the Studio Makeup palette. Again, very cool, toned. I'm a little bit more excited about the Colored Raine palette, honestly. This one kind of reminds me of the Urban Decay Reloaded palette. This one only has two mattes, but the shimmers look amazing. This one is just a little bit more boring to me. We're just gonna try to use as many shades out of each palette as possible. I only have two eyes, so I mean, we're gonna go in with blush first, I think. This one luckily does have more mattes to it. I do have old palette, not old, but like palettes I've gotten in subscription boxes from this studio brand, and they're actually really good. One was, again, a cooler palette, and then another was a warmer one, but they were both really good quality. I'm gonna go right into this dusk shade right here because I want to add a little bit of warmth. And speaking of the Reloaded palette, I did try it for the first time, and I gotta say, I'm not in love with it. I thought I was going to be, but I'm not really. Very sad to say. I'm gonna use it, I mean, again, but I'm not in love with it, unfortunately. Cool. I mean, so far from each palette, every shadow I've used is pretty sheer.
They're so pretty.
Lou always asks me where I got something, and and I always just say the store because she doesn't know what shopping online is. Then she'll go further and say, what store? And so I always say Target, because that's the only store that she knows.
I do.
I know, you love Target.
Yeah, the baby shapes like bagels.
They're shaped like bagels?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
They're circle bagels.
Yes, they're circles. They're shaped like bagels, you're right.
I love bagels, right?
You do love bagels, you're right. None of the shades I used were particularly bad. I mean, obviously I didn't use a ton of shades, but I mean, nothing was horrible or anything, and I've definitely used worse. And everything actually layered nice, like nothing layered on top of each other. And had that thing happened where it was so sheer that you couldn't layer it, that I've had happen in other videos, that makes me immediately just want to turn off the camera and scrap the whole video. It's happened. If you've seen my videos, you know what I'm talking about. But I just wish there were some deeper tones. I'm definitely gonna go in and use the metallics from the colored Raine palette though. I'm having a little issue trying to blend this line right here. And at this point, I'm just kind of just gonna give up. It kind of just seems like all the shades are blending together, unfortunately, which is why I kept trying to build that corally shade in this palette. I just kept trying to like make it pop, but it's just not. Let me just put a cut crease down and then we'll come back and we'll put some of the metallics from the Color Raine palette. So give me a second. All right, like I said, we're gonna focus on the Color Raine palette for the cut crease, and we're going with the deepest metallic right here on the outer edge. Just a little bit, just kind of deepen it up. Actually, that's nice, that helped a little bit. Then we're going, most of the cut crease will be this amazing middle shade. I hope it's as, oh yes, that's beautiful. And this is why I kept this palette. Initially when I saw it, I was like, it's too cool toned, I won't use it, but this shade made me want to keep it. And this is definitely the kind of shade that you would have to put a base down for. You might be able to get away with it like as some kind of topper, but it would probably be pretty sheer. And we're just gonna finish with this really light lavender shade. I'm gonna use a puff for this part because my finger is too big. Lovely. So we're just gonna do finger swatches for these palettes, and I'm just gonna go through and swatch from left to right. So we have the first four shades right here. I use this one in my inner corner, this one on my lower lash line. These, the ones I used, performed like they looked in the pan, like they translated on the eye pretty true to color. Except for the salmon-y shade, I wish that had a little bit more pigment to it. I blended the bottom lower lash line out with the salmon shade as well, which is the shade Dusk. Which I mean, I'm glad they included it because it made the palette a bit warmer. And this is that final deep shade, which was actually quite pigmented. That's what I used on the lower lash line as like the deepest shade. So, I mean, not a bad palette. I've definitely seen worse in subscription boxes. And now we have the Vineyard Soiree. Standout shades were obviously the metallics. I mean, this one we didn't use, and that's very pretty. But I mean, the star of the show is absolutely this, like a rose gold, mauve gold kind of shade. And then the last two shades are here. And this was that metallic we did on the outer corner on the cut crease. If I had to pick one palette over the other, it would be this one, just because honestly, that rose gold metallic shade just kind of won the day for me. And side note, speaking of subscription boxes, this is the Extraordinary Translucent Powder from Ciate London that we got in BoxyCharm like last year. This is one of my favorite powders ever. I'm wearing it today. I've had it in favorites multiple times. I've bought backups, like brand new sealed, because it has, when they're new, they have that, you know, tape that covers the holes up. I went on, you know, Poshmark and Macari and bought like 2 backups. It's one of the best powders ever. I put it under my eyes, all over my face. It's amazing. You can still see a little bit of shine, like glowiness in my skin. Like it doesn't completely make you matte or anything. If you have yours still and it's lying around and you haven't used it because you're just not sure about it, it's amazing. I highly recommend it. All right, the last 2 products we have, if you didn't see my unboxing, I'll list it below if you do want to see it. There were 2 other products that I put directly in my giveaway drawer because I know I would never use them besides for this video, and I don't want to waste them like that. And one was the Tarte lipstick because the shade was like grayish kind of shade that I would never, that just looks horrible on me. I'll write on the screen what the other thing was. Mascara maybe? Yeah, I'll write on the screen. Both those things I'll never use, so I didn't even bother keeping them out to show you or use for you guys because I just didn't want to waste them. All right, the next is a clear brow gel from Wander Beauty. I didn't do my brows today because I'm gonna use this. I don't use brow gel normally. I don't really know how to use it. I'm assuming it's to hold your brows in place. I don't feel like my brows are particularly wild, but I'm gonna try it today and see what it does. I decided not to do them just to see what this does. I didn't want to cover them with color to mask what this actually does, so I'm trying it now. I know Anastasia has a popular one, and I feel like NYX has a popular brow gel. I'm not particularly big on caring for my brows, as you can see. I just let them go. I just don't care that much. But I don't have a clear brow gel, so I thought I would keep this and try it. All right, and the last thing we have to use is one that I'm kind of excited about. This is the Galactic Skin Glow in Moonlight. It comes in two sides. We have a pink and a champagne shade. I'm gonna use one on each side just to see. And they're kind of like drier kind of creams, which is good because it makes me think that they'll work on top of powder. Hopefully they'll be okay for my skin tone, but I guess we'll find out. And if not, who cares? I'm not going anywhere. All right, so we're gonna do I'm just gonna use my finger. They feel like they probably wouldn't work with a sponge or brush. So. Oh, that's nice. It's very subtle, and it doesn't look like it's leaving a colored cast. Okay, so that's promising. It's really nice, actually. Hopefully it doesn't break apart my makeup underneath. This one does seem to have a little bit more color payoff, but nothing insane. I'm assuming they might have another shade of this they offer. Does it smell? Ugh, it smells like roses. I hate the smell of roses. I mean, I love the smell of roses, but I hate the smell of fake roses. Oh, I like it on my nose, actually. Okay, so both sides are pretty. I like this side over this side because this side I can see a little bit of a cast from the pink. It's still pretty, though. Like, I like how, like, the sheen is more severe on this side, but I don't like the color on this side. This side, I like it because it blends, the shade blends into my skin more. But I do feel like if you're a bit lighter than me in skin tone, you may be able to see the color in these more. Let me know if you have this. Do you like it? Does it last on your skin? Does it break your makeup apart? Let me know. All right, so this is the final look for everything. I think it overall came out really nice. I do like the eyes. I mean, it came out nicer. I like it more than I thought I would, honestly. I can't see myself reaching for this ever again, so I'll probably pass it on, to be completely honest. I mean, I just have other palettes that are better. This I will most likely reach again for the metallic shades, but not the mattes, just because the grays, it's just too cool toned for me. But the metallics are gorgeous. The eyeshadow primer, I'll use at some point. It seems nice. We'll see how it lasts throughout the day. Everything went on fine, and it was a bit stickier and tackier than I thought it was going to be. It did have a bit of tackiness and grip to it, so that was a pleasant surprise. I do wish, though, it had a little bit of a tint to it to kind of add some kind of coverage to your lids. This I'll try a few more times. If I don't love it, obviously I'll just pass it on. And, you know, I don't have many thoughts on this yet. I just put it on. But, I mean, you know, I'll keep it because I have it, and I don't have anything like it. I think that's it. All right, so that was it. What did you guys get in your BoxyCharm, IPSY, whatever subscription boxes that you get? Let me know in the comments below. What product did you like the best that we tried today? And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye.